Mirchi Mornings with Priyanka. Only on Radio Mirchi. It's hot.
दिल वाले मूवी से अरिजीत सिंह अंतरा मित्रा की आवाज में गेरुआ. गुड मॉर्निंग, कैसे हैं आप? It's 8:40 a.m. It is Friday, October 11th. Talking about the different rungs that we encounter in the US. Yeah, it can't be easy raising your kid here. Especially if you are desi. Yeah, आप अपने बच्चे को देसी culture, अपना culture, which you grew up with, which you're comfortable with, which you carried with you when you immigrated to the US. How do you pass on those traditions, those stories to your kids so they know and appreciate where they come from, or at least where their parents come from? Well, joining me right now is Akruti Babaria. She is the founder of Kulture Khazana, which she likes to call a mompreneur's venture that shares Indian culture by providing children's books, programs, products, and online content. Let us welcome her. Good morning, Akruti. How are you doing?
Good morning. Namaskar. I'm doing well. Kem cho?
You're trying to cover all of the gamut, right?
I'm a Gujarati, so kem cho?
So here's the thing. It's interesting that you have an MBA from University of Buffalo and a Bachelor's of Arts in Bharatanatyam. You currently live in Buffalo, New York with your husband and 2.5-year-old son. So tell me, what made you quit your full-time job and say that, Kulture Khazana is something that I want to pursue, and this is something that is really important for me to do for my son?
So when I had my son is when I realized how important the culture was. Mm-hmm. And that's when you start looking for resources to pass down the culture, and the resources were quite difficult to find. Mm-hmm. And that's when I decided, I'm going to take it upon myself, start something that not just my son, but also other kids can make use of. Mm-hmm. And the way to pass it down, I felt, was to make it fun for the kids, rather than to kind of make it educational. Even the education has to be fun for them.
All right. And of course, you did a lot of research, right? Because you ended up coming out with a book. So tell me about the research process and, what writing the book was all about.
Yeah. So I have a book written. And then what I did was I started looking for materials from India, and I started connecting with publishers and making those connections, and I started curating the books that were coming out from India, mm-hmm. that were children's books, mm-hmm. and in that process I realized that not everything that's published in India would be appropriate for children growing up in America.
Right.
Because it's just a very different cultural sensitivity that we require here, mm-hmm. where the kids are growing up around so many different cultures, and the illustrations, because our kids are growing up in iPad, iPhone generation.
Yeah.
So it has to be fun for them. And that's how then I started importing children's books from India, and mm-hmm. now I'm the exclusive distributor for some of the publishers that I represent here.
Wow, that's fantastic. Tell me one challenge that you faced in raising your 2.5-year-old here in the U.S. as a Desi. I mean, you already found a solution for it, but what was that challenge for you?
The biggest challenge was finding the resources, actually. If both the parents are working, you are barely making it through the day. How are you going to spend hours looking for the right resources for your children? They just don't have the time. Mm-hmm. But now, thankfully, a lot of moms like myself and Kulture Khazana, and also a lot of brands from India are recognizing the need for all of the NRIs to pass down the culture. And they're helping. They're coming into the U.S. market, mm-hmm. and a lot of moms are forming companies and just making it accessible.
Okay. Now, tell me, why is it important for kids growing up in the U.S. to be aware of their parents' culture? I mean, because I think some of the parents that I've spoken to, they struggle with the fact that they come here, they become Americanized. I mean, I don't want to say an insult that's thrown at kids, but parents, when they see their kids doing something that they feel isn't, what we grew up with or how we grew up, and they're like, oh, tum to American ho gaye. Why is it important that kids should know what the value, what the culture, what the stories from our home country are all about?
I feel the kids will realize when they have their children how important it is for them to know their heritage and their roots. Mm-hmm. Of course, we want our kids to be assimilated into the society because they're growing up in America, and they are American. Yeah. They just happen to have Indian roots. Yeah. And just how other cultures, whether you're from Africa, whether you're from Europe, whether you're from Middle East or anywhere in the world, we eat that food. So the food is important. It's just everyday things that you do in your home that if you can pass it down, just elements of it, then that will kind of stay with them. And it's important because I feel we're the last generation who can kind of pass it down. If we don't do it to our kids, then it's going to go with us.
Wow. Okay. So Akruti Babaria, of course, the founder of Kulture Khazana. So Akruti, if anybody wanted to get in touch with you or, you know, check out what you have to offer or what Kulture Khazana has to offer, where can they go?
I have a website, Kulture Khazana, culture with a K, and Khazana.com. And I'm on Facebook, again, Culture with a K, Khazana. And I'm also on Instagram, Culture with a K, Khazana.
Akruti Babaria, an absolute pleasure talking to you this morning, and thank you so much, and also really appreciate the work that you're trying to do. It is very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. You have a wonderful day and an amazing long weekend.
Thank you so much. And of course, say hi to your son. We could hear him in the background. I see.
I know. I warned you. You would hear him.
That's all right. It just authenticates the conversation.
I know. That's mompreneur.
There you go. All right, Akruti. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
और जी फिर आपका क्या ख्याल है? Have you struggled with raising your kids, and what are some of the challenges that you've come up with? How have you faced those challenges? Talk to me. Studio number 848-444-1600. Again, 848-444-1600. You can also WhatsApp me, Mirchi Priyanka, on our Mirchi WhatsApp number, which is 9033 Mirchi. 9033 Mirchi. All right, let's get back to the music.
Radio Mirchi, it's hot.
1600 Radio Mirchi, it's hot.
You're listening to 1600 Radio Mirchi, India's #1 radio station, now in America.